Can you do all these puzzles?
Yes, she can.
I can.
I'm Jay, and I make videos about traditional Chinese characters in alphabetical order according to the Pinyin romanization system. And I'm not on a bus. I'm in Lexus dealership servicing our RX. To get here was a little bit of a hassle because there's a lot of people on the road. 460,000 to be exact. It's a record breaker. It's the Baishatun Mazu Pilgrimage. I asked AI to show me 460,000 dots. It's a bit overwhelming to see it all at once, isn't it? To put that number in perspective, if you tried to count every one of those dots out loud, 1 per second, it would take you over 127 hours of non-stop counting to finish. Since the pilgrimage is passing through central Taiwan right now, that image represents just how massive the crowd really is. And who is Mazu? Well, she's known as the goddess of the sea, mostly in Southeast Asia. One of the most widely venerated deities in the world, with an estimated 200 to 300 million followers and over 10,000 temples across more than 40 countries. In the last video, I told you I was going to join the pilgrimage, but that's the Daja Mazu pilgrimage, different one. These two are competing for the biggest pilgrimages in Taiwan. Number one is the Daja Mazu pilgrimage. Over 1 million people join that, but that includes people who just join for one day, like I've been doing for the last couple of years. And number two is the Baishatun, right outside that window at time of filming. That's a lot of people. In a minute, we'll go out and check it out. But I got a couple characters to cover today. A lot of characters. Pronounced D, 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 and D. It's the third full day of this event. Di Santian, one of the characters we'll go over today. They started in Miaoli this past Sunday, and they're going to Beigang in Yunlin. Then they'll turn around and go back. They'll probably be finished on Monday. So yeah, multi-day trip. This year is unique because 3 Mazu statues or statuettes are traveling in the same palanquin holder, wheelless vehicle. And unique to this pilgrimage, which is not the same with the Daja pilgrimage, is that the Baishatun does not follow a fixed route. They let the Mazu goddesses decide the route. Sometimes there's a little fighting because they want the Mazu to go to their temple. Participants want to steer Mazu. Lexus has a nice little step here where people can sit on the outside under the shade. I'm always surprised at the ages. I mean, there's certainly people in their 70s. These guys are getting geared up. I can tell they're ready to go. Break's over. Back to walking. For some reason, I'm noticing less of the pull carts. Well, there's definitely pull carts over there. But this whole crew, they're just carrying everything on their back. There are 2 first tone D, and let's start with the homonym because the exact same sound you will hear are 2 different characters. Di Sha. We can have this one. Character number 1. D, first tone, is low or lowly. For example, you could say 他们的服务品质很低下. Their service is kind of bad. Here I'm not talking about Lexus. In fact, I'm pretty happy with their service. Just making examples of 低下. And it sounds exactly the same as this one. 低下 means to drip down. Again, these are homonyms. They sound exactly the same, but let's go back to the first one. This is a super frequent character. When I was looking up examples, it took me 11 full-page scrolls to get to the bottom for this D. D-in means low pitch or low tone, and this instrument is
低音大提琴.
Another example is 低调, being low-key. That's a good one. Ren or person radical on the left. You'll see this component also pronounced D again in several more characters down the road, but different tone. It also appears in this poem by Li Bai from the Tang Dynasty. 床前明月光，疑是地上霜。举头望明月，低头思故乡。 Taiwanese kids like to joke with the last line and say, 低头吃便当, lower your head and eat your lunchbox. Did you spot our character D, meaning low? Character number 2, drip. D. You have obviously the water radical on the left, and this D, it's the phonetic component. A lesser used character these days, meaning stalk or stem or foot. Here's the breakdown: 头 over 八, and then 炯, the wide radical, over 古. What is a kukiel, you may ask? I asked the same question, but evidently it means a punctuation marker when you're separating Chinese phrases in Korean. But we can just say it's a variant of ba upside down. The component may resemble a one-room schoolhouse, maybe a small chapel. Here we go. I was really looking for that roof line. Putting that together, we start from left to right. You make the water radical, then start from the top down until you get to the zhong. That's the encompassing character over the cross. In the mouth, ko. Those two together are gu, which means old. Again, this character is di, drip. To, the rocking radical, and yo, which means reason, makes this second tone D, which means enlightenment. You can see it in the name for Thomas Edison, Edison. The character means enlightenment. Get it? Edison, enlightenment. Qi Di, enlighten. I found the character on a sign. Di Ao Si. It's a company that makes adjustable beds. Di Si Ke is disco music. Particularly, it's a transliteration used in Taiwan. No disco music going on here. We got classical music coming out of the speakers. Stick with the same yo component and add the bamboo radical to the top, and you get another second tone D, which means flute or whistle. Flutes were made of bamboo originally. I'm pretty sure every kid in Taiwan learns the zhidi, the recorder. Here are a few more examples from the Pleco app. This second tone D is an enemy. This is the component that we learned a little bit earlier. Plus, on the right side, the rap or tap radical called pu, di ren, enemy. Not always in the sense of somebody you'd want to kill, but definitely somebody you'd want to beat. This classical Chinese book mentions to be a match for an opponent of equal strength. Here's a preview of other D and D in the table of contents. All 4 tires of my car are off. They say I need to replace this on both sides. So I have a loaner car for the day. I just traveled from the Lexus dealership. I'm in a loaner right now, and this whole way back is just a line of people all the way to my city. This is getting me excited for next week. There's people on that side of the road too. That's probably smarter, because this is crazy. It seems like even more people than the Dajamazu, because they're so tightly packed. When you start the Dajamazu and you get all the way to Zhanghua, it gets really spread out. But these people are packed together. People are not strolling, like they are moving. This is much faster. These guys are behind the Palanquin Mazu, back a couple of kilometers. I just saw a pink Maserati go by. And I think it was associated with this because they had some kind of emblems on it. Look out the rear of the car. You see all these people crossing the street? This is the UX 300H. It's a hybrid. Loner. I like the color. Bronze.
They move fast. The whole pilgrimage
Yeah,
move very fast.
Yeah.
And also,
like this
thing
guy
is-
in front of us.
Right. The palanquin also move fast. So
Ah.
they give it a nickname, calling it a 粉红超跑 pink sports car. 粉红超跑
Third tone, D, means bottom, base, or end. I think one of the most common uses of this is like the end of the year is 年底. It has a Guang on top and a D, which is an ancient tribe, as the center component. Example, D bun, the original copy of a manuscript or document. Our next D, third tone, has a lot of meanings. Prop, resist, offset. It's used in mortgage, reach. I think the hand radical on the left serves to help us know that this is a meaning of to prop up or support. And if that hand was pushing up against something else or another hand, it could mean to offset or even resist. It can be collateral, for example, for a mortgage, to compensate. Or I think the most serious one is 抵命, to give a life for a life.
Get your fix on Route 66.
We are going to get a puzzle for Andrew. And our plan is to cover the box so he doesn't know what he's getting.
That's your plan, not mine. I wouldn't do that to anybody. I'm just giving the whole puzzle.
If he wants to cheat, he can. Well, is that cheating? Or everybody does that?
Well,
If he wants to take a peek, he could just rip off the paper. Okay, another thing is we can't get one too big that covers the hospital table. So it's got to be limited pieces, but it still has to be challenging. He's an expert puzzle maker.
no, I'm not an expert. No.
You've done puzzles. I know you have.
The biggest one is just 2,000. Watch out.
Okay.
But I usually just do 1,000 pieces.
So how big is a 2,000? Oh yeah, that's pretty big. I think Kitty and I have done one like that, and then that's the last puzzle we ever did. I told you that story, right? We lost one piece,
Oh, okay.
and I had to use the box to cut out the last piece.
Oh.
And I put it in, and then I lacquered it with that clear glue.
Oh, okay, I remember.
You remember that story?
Yeah.
I had to throw it away because the whole thing turned yellow.
Right.
But the box was like trees, so it was really easy to cut. And then we're going up there.
Here's
Mr. Buddha's head.
I think it's open.
Okay, because it looked like their gate was down. That's just an awning. It's open. Ni hao. Hi. You think an English person would be sick of
Why
that?
not? Might make them feel.
Feel home?
Yeah.
Okay.
This one also 1,000.
Oh, okay. Yeah, look at
Yeah.
太小了.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we
I
want,
think 500.
yeah, 500. So these are our selection.
The puzzles bag, they have a different picture. Like this one,
Oh, interesting.
会有不同的
Oh, you mean two
气氛
sides have two different pictures?
Not one.
可以分开？不是。
不是，这是 in the bag.
Yeah.
We can check the it's different picture, different
Oh,
mark.
这个可以帮你知道这个是
是
这一块是这个位置。
对
It's like a little cheat code.
It's a hint.
So if you want
Not
to,
cheating with puzzles, unless
Okay.
you give it to her to do.
can you do all these puzzles?
Yes, she can.
I can.
How fast?
Not sure because the different.
哦，看情况。
哎，对
Yeah,
different
yeah.
picture. Maybe and this
It will
one
be
is
harder.
more difficult. Then which one I saw?
Oh, this will be easier.
Yeah.
I have this,
Oh.
but it's not a puzzle. It's a picture on my wall.
Oh. This is the artist in Canada.
Kincaid. Thomas Kincaid.
Yeah.
Yeah. This side, and we both agree this is the one, right?
Yes.
Why?
Because it's cute.
And it's challenging enough, and it's popular in Taiwan
And Japan.
and Japan. All right, let's do it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Gotta carry it because there's a board that you can assemble the puzzle on. The biggest one we saw in there was 8,000 pieces, and it was a world map. That would take up the whole hospital room.
You need a big table for that.
Yes, or do it on the floor.
out.
Whoa. Whew. We've made it to the fourth tone, D. First one we've gone over before in a character video on the, which kind of made adverbs. Here it's pronounced D, as in Dili. That's geography, or 地方 is a place. 地区 area, district. 地下铁 subway. 地球 earth. 地下室 basement. It's made up of a tu, earth radical, and a ye, which means also. For the next 6 characters, we can do kind of chunking, putting some together, because they have the same component, except for one of these. Here is di, younger brother. In fact, it's often replicated, so di, younger brother. If you've lived in Mandarin-speaking areas, you probably know the term 小弟弟. As a euphemism, 表弟 is a boy cousin who is younger than you. Mother's side. On top it has kind of what I see as like eyebrows going down like this. Kind of looks like a little bit like a ladder with actual rungs, but the rungs are connected on the sides. Kind of weird ladder, yeah. And then you have to remember the side stroke tail coming down. In fact, the word for ladder, 梯子, would have the wood radical in front of that character. So if you change out those, what I'm calling eyebrows, for the bamboo radical, we have a character that's used often in sequence. So if you're counting, you can say first, second, third, 第一个, 第二个, 第三个. 第一名, number 1. A machine gun right there, maybe.
Or one of those airplane defense. Yeah, maybe do.
Yeah, anti-air. There's the Silver Bridge. The next one is monarch, emperor, or even god. 皇帝, emperor. 皇帝, 上帝, god. You start with the 头 on top, and there's that upside down ba or 8 again, over mi, which is the cover, over jin, the handkerchief or towel component. It's kind of counterintuitive, but if you add the grass radical on top, it means like the short end of something, like a stalk, or for example, a cigarette butt. 烟蒂. Here's a sentence with 2 of our 地 characters. 地上有很多烟蒂. There's a lot of cigarette butts on the ground. Kind of a pet peeve for me. I found 草莓丁 in a dictionary for the top of the strawberry, but my wife says it's 地头. The character is also used in transliteration. 地粉你, Tiffany, the jeweler. With the silk radical to the left, 丝, we can make this 4th tone 地, which means to bind. For example, a friendship or a contract. Here are some examples. For that middle one, 缔结条约, you can just say 缔约. My dictionary lists 地交, to make friends with or establish diplomatic relations. This last D is probably the toughest, 15 strokes. As a verb, to hand over or deliver, and as an adverb or adjective, successive or successively. 递升, to be promoted to the next rank. Probably the most common use that I've seen is 快递, express mail. It's made up of the 错, walking radical, the chang, or factory radical. You start left to right in one sweeping stroke and then down. That encloses 虎, the tiger. Bear with me now. I see the tiger as a cross-section of a sink. So the top stroke is the faucet. Underneath you have some piping. And then a lot of people keep one of these. Step stool, but it looks like a table. Underneath their sink. There's the faucet, right? The spigot. This is the top of the sink. And then, remember, this is like a cross-section. Like a diagram for an engineer or architect. And then underneath is the piping. This looks like Qi, the number 7 in Chinese. And then this G under here is that little table, but for me, it's a stool. You know there's names for all these strokes, right? So this one going do 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 is called 横折弯钩. Let's see, this one is 撇. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's just for the hu. Remember, this is part of a bigger character, so you've got the 错, walking radical, the chang above it, which is written first. For simplified, it's just the walking radical and D for little brother. Congratulations, we made it through 14 characters. Thanks for watching. Runner's Garden signing off.